Hello, I'm Tom Poon, and I'm the Executive Vice President and Provost here at LMU. And I'm coming to you on location from the Drollinger Family Stage on our beautiful campus. Today I'm joined by Assistant Professor of Dance, Taryn Vander. Thank you for joining me.
Thank you so much for having me. It's an honor to be here with you.
So I have wanted to do a conversation like this for a long time because I once had a student who I was the academic advisor for, and she told me in year one that she was pre-med and that she was going to be a dance major. So I'll confess, I thought to myself at the time, this is great, right? Med schools will love something different, and she will have an easy time of it and get great grades and be able to skate through her 4 years of college. What I found was that her dance major was so rigorous and time consuming that she didn't even have time to finish all of the pre-med classes that were required to apply to medical school.
Yeah.
So I am so curious, what is a dance major like here at LMU? What's involved in being a dance major?
Yeah, that's a common misconception that a dance major will be an easy major, all A's, a walk in the park, because when people think of dance, they have this preconceived notion and it's what they see on stage. But what they don't see is all the work that leads up to the magic of performance, which is all the rehearsal hours, studying stagecraft, lighting design, costuming, choreography, perfecting your artistic craft, studying the history, dance within its cultural context, and not to mention the variety of styles you need to be versatile in to be a professional dancer, which is what our students are training to be in a way that suits their unique needs and interests best. So it's really rigorous, and it's a common misconception that dance will be an easy degree. So I'm glad to set the record straight.
Thank you. And mea culpa for my misconceptions. I'm glad we could set the record straight. So you mentioned people bring in, lots of diverse experiences. One thing that I've noticed here at LMU is a lot of students double major in dance and something else, in the sciences and business. And can you talk about this phenomenon? I see this a lot, especially in some of our top students when we're reviewing students for some of the highest awards at the university in their senior years.
Yeah, for sure. Again, another misconception is that you need a double major to be hireable. I understand because I myself was a student once. I have 3 degrees, 3 majors. You want to have a quote unquote backup plan. But what people don't understand, myself included, before getting a degree in dance is that dance prepares you for the real world and going out there and being a professional in so many unseen ways. Dance teaches you dedication, time management, teamwork, collaboration, effective communication, being a leader, presentation, improvisation, right? They're ready to get in there and figure things out with you. The misconception again is that you need a second degree to support you after graduation. You don't need it, but a lot of our students have diverse interests. So while they're here, why not take advantage? So it's not an either or, it's really to serve their best interests. If they want a double major, it's amazing. They do psychology with this rigorous schedule, business, health and human sciences, a variety of disciplines, and then they bring that work to dance. So it only enlivens their craft, although they're very, very busy.
Yes. So you mentioned the real world. And I understand that you've created this amazing workshop that you have offered to some of our partners here in the Playa Vista community, the Silicon Beach community. And it's called Building Community and Strengthening Communication. Can you talk about this workshop and how it came about?
Yeah, so the workshop came about through a conversation with a colleague, Carol Costello. I'm an artist, so I'm constantly sort of overflowing with ideas, and I ran a few by her, and she thought that this workshop was a really good fit for our strategic partnership office. So she put me in touch, and they saw an opportunity to take this work beyond the Bluff out to our partners and really start a collaboration between LMU Dance and Silicon Beach.
That's great. So what professional and personal experiences brought you to this point in your career?
This workshop is really an amalgamation of many professional experiences that I've had throughout my career. I spent most of my performing career in New York City, and much of my research and creative work involved working with the community to inform my artistic practice. So that means going out into the community, doing interviews, asking broader questions, and then taking it back into the studio and letting that influence our art making and creative process.
So how does dance and movement influence community and communication?
Dance and movement are forms of expression, and really, if you think about it, movement is at the heart of our lived experience. When we are born, we come out moving, right? Our heart's beating, we're breathing, we're always moving, even if we're still. But in order to strengthen communication and build community, I have to make sure that we're comfortable. And a lot of people are uncomfortable with movement, right? Especially if the word dance is involved. So the work starts off with making sure everybody's in a comfortable space. So I'm gonna ask you to play a game with me.
Oh, okay.
And get comfortable with movement. This is how the workshop starts.
Yep.
So we get into a large group space, and people might know each other or they might not. And we go around in a circle and we introduce ourselves with movement. So I'm gonna say my name and my pronouns and do a movement, and then I'm gonna ask you to do it with me. And then we'll do the same for you.
Okay.
Taryn Vanderhoop, she, her. Can you do it with me?
Yes.
Taryn Vanderhoop, she, her. Yes. And now you get to introduce yourself with a gesture.
Okay. Thomas Poon, he, him.
Love it. Thomas Poon, he, him. So we go around in a circle and we actually build a dance. So that's the first thing. People are laughing, they're finding, ways to express themselves that they wouldn't normally. And the funny part is too, sometimes I'll forget people's names, but they'll do their movement, Thomas Poon. Somebody went like this to me when I couldn't remember his name, and I was like, CJ. So it's a way it's actually a really strategic study tool for our students.
Yep.
Move when you're studying, because you'll embody the information.
Oh, that's incredible.
Yeah.
And are there other folks in the dance department that are involved in this workshop?
Yes. So when Carol put me in touch with the Strategic Partnership Office, we had taken my work, which always had DEIA at the heart of it. It's really about inclusivity and access for everybody. Everybody can dance. But DEIA was going to be more of a focus. And knowing that I am a white, cisgendered female, I really wanted to make sure that we had diverse representation and we were modeling effective co-facilitation. So I asked dance chair Rosalind LeBlanc-Lowe to join me in this collaboration, and she graciously said yes. We both have really similar experiences professionally. We both dance in New York. We have worked with the community. Both companies that we worked with use community outreach to inform the artistic practice. And we have different experiences that we've added to the work. So she joined me and has added so much to this original seed of an idea, and it's been a really exciting collaboration to do with her and the department and then take out to our partners.
Can you maybe explain again how the dance and movement now influence community and communication?
Yeah, so once we're comfortable, once we've broken down some barriers, then we can really start to see how all movement means something, right? We're always moving. So Roz really leads this beautifully, where she talks about how the glance of an eye means something. The way you sit means something, the way you walk. So all movement carries meaning, and that usually results in some aha moments for the participants, because I'm turning the idea of dance on its head. We're not dancing, we're just moving in ways we know how, but that can be dance, that can be art, that carries meaning. And then once we've had these aha moments, then we can really get into the meat of the work. and explore challenging topics, but do so in a playful way, which brings joy and community. So moving together brings people together in joy and community. And that's how we break it down throughout this 90 minutes.
Oh my goodness, that sounds transformational. I may have to ask you to come to one of my team retreats one day.
Yes, I would love to. Thank you.
Thank you, thank you. So you mentioned Beyond the Bluff, right? So who have you worked with to run this workshop, to deliver this workshop to?
We've been working primarily with Google, and we have an upcoming workshop with Playa Vista property managers this spring, and we're looking for more community partners to continue to take the work Beyond the Bluff.
So I'm intrigued by the connection between diversity, equity, inclusion, and movement and dance. Can you tell me more about this concept?
Yes, thanks for asking. I can talk about this in two ways, universally and then specifically to the work that we're doing. So universally, people doing this work, taking movement out and working with communities, it's all about accessibility and inclusion. So we're creating spaces where all can dance. You can come to the space with your unique needs and move in a way that works for you. So again, it's taking the notion of dance and turning it on its head. It doesn't have to look like something you may have seen on stage. So that's the first thing. And I'll also just say that, movement has the ability to break barriers of speech. Perhaps you can't find the words, but you can find the movement, right? That's a really powerful movement. So if you can find the movement, maybe that's all you can find, but maybe that unlocks the words. Maybe that unlocks a pathway, or not, and maybe you stick with that form of expression. So that's how it can really meet everybody where they are. What we're really doing is we're getting people comfortable, we're turning the idea of dance on its head, we're sharing that movement means something, and then we're tackling challenging issues, right? We're asking people, what's an issue you need to work through in your company culture? And by exploring it through movement, they find creative ways to problem solve. So let's say the issue is access. I can't access this person who I need to approve my ideas. Well, we'll put the problem into a physical situation. You're here, I'm here. There's 50 people purposefully getting in my way. And then we rotate. How does that feel, right? You said you felt something. How does it feel to try to get to you and I can't? So then we ask the participants, okay, what are some creative solutions? What's the timing? Can we help each other? So by putting the problem into movement, people find new creative ways of looking at problem solving. Groups discover they have more empathy and understanding for their colleagues. And when we have more empathy and understanding for one another, we can see things from diverse perspectives. And when we see the word world through multiple ways of being and understanding, that's more inclusive, and we can all hopefully work together in more harmony.
Wow, that is so innovative. So what's next for the workshop, and what are you looking forward to this semester at LMU?
I'm really looking forward to continuing to develop the workshop with Professor LeBlanc-Lowe and involving our students, working with more companies, and just continuing to see LMU dance grow. We have so many new initiatives, really taking dance beyond the bluff in a variety of ways, working with local high schools, and just to continue doing a lot of dancing.
Excellent. Well, thank you so much for joining me today. I learned so much and really appreciate your time.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
You're welcome.